Good evening, Hail Stalkers. Meteorologist Martin Lattimore here. We are looking at several areas and several cities, all seeming to get all these severe thunderstorm warnings for this evening. So we're kind of looking at a wraparound of what we're seeing across all of the South. This includes Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. So let's start off with the reason why I actually popped on here. That's Wichita. Wichita is seeing $half sized hail. No reports currently active, but they are looking at both 60-mile-an-hour winds and that $half sized hail. For a measurement, it's about 1¼ inch. So just above that severe criteria. There's also another severe thunderstorm warning that is active just to the east of it with that 1-inch hail. So let me know, guys, where you are watching from. And we will do our best. Well, I will do my best to answer the questions, what you guys have and where you're from, get you a good forecast, specifically where you are. So just let me know where you're from. We can get you a forecast pretty quickly. Another one, this is pretty new, actually, Oklahoma City. Let me pull up my more in-depth radar for this one. So this is almost exclusively wind. It actually is now exclusively wind. This is for 70-mile-an-hour winds. That's that black border you're seeing around the yellow border. That is labeled as a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Now, this one is moving a little bit faster, moving around 40 miles an hour. So right now it's currently over by Coger near Binger. It's west of Okarch. So we are watching that one to move into Oklahoma City pretty soon. This one over in Mangum, heading in toward Frederick and... well, hold on, let me move that. There we go. Moving toward Frederick, Altus, maybe trying to slip in toward... it could try to make its way into Lawton. I think it's a bit of ways. Yeah, it's a bit of a ways away from Lawton. This one's for hail, 2-inch hail. They've already had a report of 1 inch. A couple power poles snapped. So it's got a bit of a punch behind it. This one's actually interesting. This one just now popped up. This is probably from big hail. No, it's for wind. A lot of this is for wind. Wow, this is for 80-mile-an-hour winds heading in toward Lubbock. So Lubbock, you just got put underneath a, well, the northwesterly section of Lubbock is under that severe thunderstorm warning for 80-mile-an-hour winds. This is moving pretty slow, so it's going to take a while to get into Lubbock. But lastly, another reason I was on, Joplin. You've got yourself a cell that's rolling through. For 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, it's going to be waking up a lot of people in Joplin. Luckily, it's nothing that Joplin hasn't seen before in terms of severe thunderstorm warnings. But yeah, we got a lot active going on right now. Areas in red are still tornado watches. They've been clipping a lot of these counties out of the watch area over the past couple hours. And that has really been we've really seen a large area of these watches get clipped. If we go back, you can see how much this area was under that tornado watch, and now here we are now. A lot of counties gone. Still severe thunderstorm watches up. Let's see what they're saying about these watches here. Isolated large hail possible of 1.5. Significant gusts up to 75 miles an hour. So it's mostly a wind initiated watch, but still the possibility of up to 1.5-inch hail. Although this is one for 2-inch hail. So a lot going on across Oklahoma and Texas, Kansas and Missouri. But we are seeing some pretty strong winds heading in toward the Oklahoma City metro, all under that severe thunderstorm watch. This is until, I believe, 4 a.m. Wow. That is up for a while. I don't see that watch lasting until 4 a.m. personally. But elsewhere, there's a couple storms trying to make their way through Erie. Maybe could get into Buffalo. It's marginally severe. Yeah, it's 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail. Our main focus is really going to be right across the South, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas. But still, that's impressive. 1-inch hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds. Let's see what they're saying about this. Destructive storm for Slayton and Caprock. 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. The West Texas Mesonet said that they got reports. Let's take a look at that. It's run by Texas Tech. Let's see what the wind gusts are. 10-meter wind gust. Toward Plainview. "44 miles an hour. That is intense. Oh, that's what it was. So the Plainview Mesonet recorded a wind gust of 85 miles an hour earlier today. That's why they've issued this warning up to 80-mile-an-hour winds. So that's a good confirmation there. So now we have the best place to see those strong winds. Best chance of hail, Evan? You asking just anywhere or a specific place? Because if you're asking just anywhere, it's probably going to be southwest Oklahoma. Got this good cell. It's rolling through about 2-inch hail. This is heading into Mangum. Could eventually reach into Altus, possibly into Lawton if it lasts that long. I don't think it's going to last that long as a hailer, at least. I mean, all other of these storms are sub-severe hail. Yeah. Nickel. That's 1 inch, but that's about to expire. There's not even any hail with this one. Joplin just got bumped up to golf balls. Let's see the reason why they bumped that up. Just go into our dual poll real quick. Yeah, there's a little bit, just near Webb City, in between Carl Junction and Galena, Kansas. This drop off right here, you can see the yellows and a little bit of the greens. That is what we call a correlation coefficient drop off, which is what we're normally seeing that hail. And so you see the drop off correlate with the high reflectivity. That's what you're looking at for those hailstones. So Joplin, you're probably going to be seeing golf balls pretty soon as they've just bumped you up to golf balls. In Ardmore, yeah, Ardmore's not seeing anything, though you are in the severe thunderstorm watch, and this is active until 4 a.m. So you can stay up if you do choose to. I would probably just say hit on the sleep. That's my opinion, because you're several hours out of these storms. You know, they're moving at 40 miles an hour, so you're thinking, you know, not even highway speeds. You're thinking city speeds from Oklahoma City to Ardmore. It's going to be tough. I see that question there. Any hail for the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Optimist Timmy. I don't think we're getting anything in DFW. I don't mean to rain on the optimist parade, but I also can't lie to you. So I'm just going to hit you with the cold water. We ain't expecting much. We can look at the forecast real quick just to see if there is anything in the forecast. I don't think that we're expecting anything across DFW, unfortunately. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Just looking at the overview for the Storm Prediction Center's day-to-day outlook, we're staying a little bit further north as we get into tomorrow. But after this, it's just like the severe threat staying all the way up to the north near the Canadian border for the next several days. That's going to be, you know, this is your day 4. So this is Saturday, Sunday. It's just, sorry, this is Sunday. This is Monday. So it's just going to stay up all the way up there in near the Canadian border. So that's going to be really my best thing for you guys. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it seems like that's what we're best at, is being the bearers of bad news. Holy moly, what? What? The Lubbock, Texas mesonet just recorded a wind gust of 110 miles an hour. Wow. Holy crap. Here's a new one. I have yet to see this one before. This is a bit off topic, but this is the first time I've ever seen this in my life. They've been talking a lot about the bad conditions going on across Utah right now. They've issued a PDS warning for extreme fire weather. That's interesting. I didn't even know if they had the ability to make them PDS warning. Must be really bad out there in Utah in order to do that. More hail. Is it likely to cover all of Joplin? Actually, let me take a look again. I mean, if the cell holds, it's going to be going right through downtown Joplin, if not maybe just a little bit to the north of downtown Joplin. So that's where I'm thinking. If I'm like spitballing one exact place, it's going to be North Joplin. More hail for Lubbock. So Lubbock is not really looking at a hailer. They're looking at mostly wind. I think these are exclusively wind. I don't know if it'll update. Come on, let me look at the warning. So it's not exclusively wind, but it is pretty much only wind. This is going to be 3/4 inch hail, which is not exactly really going to damage anything. 1 inch hail. This is that one cell that just had a 110 mile an hour wind gust. This one's really warned for wind, not necessarily hail, but it does have 1 inch hail with it, which probably is just doing your tree damage, not really doing anything on things like, cars and stuff like that. Yep, there it is, 110 mile an hour wind gust. I'm just seeing it pop in on the West Texas mesonet. That is wild. Tracking the storm in Lubbock. Yeah, you guys are about to get hit with very strong winds. Granted, so I see your question. Should you take shelter? I would just stay in your house. That would probably be the best bet for you, is just remain inside. Stay away from windows, especially from the east or the west side of your house. So stay on the east side of your house. That's the best place to be at. Is going to be on the east side of the house in case windows do break and bust open. You're going to avoid getting glass in your face. That's one of the biggest dangers into windstorm, is just getting glass in your face, because people are always like looking outside like, oh, I want to see the storm, and then rock or tree limb hits the glass, and the biggest threat is not the thing hitting you, it's the glass getting in your face, and then now you got cuts all over your face. So don't do that. Hail in Mustang, Oklahoma. No hail for the metro right now. We are watching for wind though. 70 mile an hour winds. It's kind of a lather, rinse, and repeat of the other day. If you remember those storms that we had not too long ago that went through Oklahoma City. Actually, hold on. Where am I? There we go. Let's see. I'm in Joplin. So this storm currently over at Reno. Let's pull up base velocity so we can get a look at wind. Yeah, we got a little gust front moving in through Union City and El Reno right now. Minco, maybe stretching down toward Anadarko. It's trying its best, at least. We put this in motion. We can see there's that gust front right there. Yeah, South Oklahoma City is going to get good gust front pretty soon. So they're saying that that might have been a downburst. I'm looking at what our meteorologists are all saying about that wind report in Plainview and then over towards Slayton. They're thinking it's a downburst. Let's do a little bit of meteorology. Let's see if we can determine if it was a downburst real quick. So what we're looking for winds blowing apart. So they're shooting, like, let me do this. You're shooting down. That's what a downburst is. Is it just like the air literally gets so heavy that it just falls down and just poof. That's what a downburst is. I think it might have been. Oh yeah, that was a downburst, all right. So what I'm looking at here is these greens and these alternating greens and reds. The reds are moving toward the radar. The greens are moving away from the radar. So the reds, quite literally, are going so fast that it actually outpaced the storm and is going in the negative direction now. So yeah, that was absolutely a downburst. Microburst, one or the other. Is tornado possible in Lubbock? No. No tornado. The only thing you're really looking at is just exclusively wind with a little bit of hail. Not anything wild when it comes to hail either. Really, your biggest threat is absolutely going to be wind. Let me see if I can try to pull up a traffic camera real quick. See if we can get ourselves a look at Lubbock real quick. Come on. Texas DOT is being slow with me. There we go. Got Broadview. Man, really? It's just pictures? No live cameras? Psst. Come on. That's disappointing. Dylan, any hail dropping in Denver? I haven't looked at Denver in a little bit. You do got a little cell it's trying to go through. Nothing warned in it just yet. Let me take a look at something else. I could see if we've got anything attached to it. No, not even a special weather statement on this storm in Denver, unfortunately. A little bit of lightning. But beyond that, no, not really. You get a little bit of rain. I don't know how much Denver needs rain right now. Would power go out? Should I prep? I would. Just make sure your phone's charged. That's the best thing I could say. Just make sure your phone's charged. We're not looking at like a huge, end of the world scenario. I would just say make sure your phone's charged. That's about it. But out of the loop, any hail in KC? Nope. KC's a little too north of the threat. Everywhere else, though. Wichita, you're now out of that severe thunderstorm warning. So no warning for Wichita. Joplin, you're still looking at golf balls. No reports, though. Oklahoma City, we're still watching for this cluster of storms to move through. The weird thing is that we have not any reports. None whatsoever. So I'm a little bit weary if this is actually still pushing out 70 miles an hour. Still 80, still 80. A lot going on across Oklahoma and Texas as of right now. And then that one lone storm in Joplin. There's got to be a better. There's got to be better cameras in Lubbock, right? Huh. Wow. No good cameras in Lubbock or in Texas at all. Just saw a storm chaser go by my house. Yeah, that is a not very intelligent storm chaser. Chasing at night is the worst thing ever, and there's no tornadoes. Because like this watch we're currently under right now, they're saying scattered damaging winds likely with isolated significant gusts, which we're seeing obviously right now. Scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events to 2.5 inches, and a tornado or two possible. Normally that is like, okay, there's a remote chance that we will have a tornado, but in all likelihood, we're probably not going to have one. Which state has the highest chance of a tornado? Probably Oklahoma. If we get another storm out here toward parts of northeast Oklahoma, north of Tulsa, I think we could get a little bit of rotation. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually drop this watch pretty soon. The watch expires, I thought it expires at, yeah, it was supposed to expire at 10. So it should have been dropped. Well, now I'm confused. Huh. Because the severe thunderstorm watch, this goes until 4 a.m. So this is not expiring anytime soon. But this was supposed to expire at 10 p.m. Guess they haven't pulled it yet. We in Lubbock? No, we're in the Oklahoma City metro. We just cover nationally. But yeah, this cluster is moving very slow right now across Lubbock. Man, they immediately issued that as a destructive tag. That is a wow. That popped out of nowhere. Holy cow. I mean, same for the Slayton tornado, or not tornado, the Slayton storm went from immediately there to destructive. In Colorado hail. Now, all right, now there is some storms that are trying to go through Denver, although they are not severe warned. And let me check my other radar real quick. They don't have any special weather statements based on them, so they're not even at like 40, 50 mile an hour winds or half dollar size hail. This radar is called GR Earth. We use GR Earth and GR Analyst. It's actually what our mapping meteorologists use to analyze storms as well, so it's pretty good. Yes, I hear the disappointment in your voice, Matt. I apologize. If I could give hail in Denver, I would. Oh, tornado warning. That is in the panhandle of Texas. It was in the middle of nowhere. Just east of Amarillo. Let's see what they're doing with storm. Let's see what they're doing with storm relative. Yeah, there's a good little bit of rotation. Just a little short embedded one. Probably 14 people total in this warning, if I had to guess. Nothing currently active. Well, I say active, I mean no tornado on the ground as of right now. There it is. They bumped that down to 60. I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, they bumped it down to 60. Still no hail. That doesn't shock me whatsoever. Don't worry. It's not over toward Lubbock. They bumped that down. What happened to Denver? Well, you guys were kind of on the fringe of the severe risk today. It was going to be really determining if you guys got storms this afternoon, and unfortunately, nothing really tried to form. Joplin, decent hail? Yeah, you're getting a pretty good little storm right now. No reports so far, but the storm is warned for golf ball sized hail. So I imagine we're probably going to see some reports coming out of Joplin. Oh, I spoke too soon. 1 inch hail report just outside of Joplin for broadcast media. Don't know who that was. Real heavy winds picked up here in Denver a few moments ago along clouds and lightning. Yeah, there's a little cell that's rolling through. I'm looking at another radar that shows me the special weather statements because this one doesn't right here. It doesn't even have a special weather statement attached to it, which normally is like, okay, it's not severe, but you should probably still pay attention to it. You know, like 50-mile-an-hour winds, nickel-sized hail, things like that. Things that are not going to be causing, like, a huge threat to life or property by any means, but still will impact you. And there's not even that active on it. So you might be getting a little bit of wind, maybe some tiny hail, like penny to dime-sized hail, but it's not going to be anything that's going to be causing any damage or anything. Stream on other platforms. We stream on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, if you're one of the 6 people that use LinkedIn. They bumped down the line of storms heading into Lubbock. They bumped it down to 80 miles an hour. Or sorry, not 80, 70 mile an hour. So it might end up missing Lubbock too. It's a possibility. Still 3/4 inch hail and 70 mile an hour winds. Still got that tornado warning that's going on. And it's got a good little couplet on it. Let's check correlation. Ooh, that could be a tornado. Maybe. Possibly. I don't think so. Maybe. Thing is, with being as dusty as it is out there, it could just be the dust getting caught up in the rotation, which technically would make it a landspout. And they do issue reported tornado warnings for landspouts. Yes, I've seen a tornado once. Do not want to see that again. It was 11:30 at night, and I could only see it in power flashes. That was terrifying. So kind of a bit of a wrap up, or kind of a bit of an overview. Joplin currently seeing possibility of golf ball sized hail. 60 mile an hour winds going through the city. We have a report of a 1 inch hail. That's about to be through the city though. A little gust front of wind going through Oklahoma City right now. Not really expecting hail, and the winds are starting to taper down a little bit. So hopefully we get some nice rain out of it here in Oklahoma City. And a couple rambunctious, very windy cells, including one that could be getting to Lubbock within about hour, half hour maybe. The thing is, that's moving at 20 miles an hour. So it's oh yeah, they also clipped it down a significant chunk there. You can see how far they cut it. Wait, they just knocked that down too? Oh shoot. Man, that thing blew up and then immediately died. It must have just had that downburst and that was it, because they gave it destructive and they immediately canceled it. All right, well, things are getting a little bit easier. Joplin, they've dropped it back down to 1-inch hail. So Joplin, you're now only seeing 1-inch hail, but it was warned for golf balls earlier. Wichita, I've had a couple reports of 1-inch hail outside the city on the northwest side. Still an active tornado warning in the eastern panhandle of Texas. Maybe some hail, maybe. Well, it's not warned for hail. Any of these storms warned for hail? Warned for nickel-sized hail. Or what is it? I think it's dime-sized hail. Or penny-sized hail. I think nickel-sized hail is 0.88 inches. They dropped down that cell in granite to 3/4-inch hail, despite it having some pretty good reflectivities. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Wait, is that? No, that's an inflow notch. What does this look like? It's got a little structure to it. Nothing anything crazy though. It's probably why they're only warning it for 1-inch. This though, it's got a good little edge on it right here. So Joplin, you're now out of this pretty much. It's out of the city at least. It's moving its way out of the city, so you're pretty much in the clear. You could see the cell behind it, but let's see, which way is this going? Yeah, it could get in there, but it's diminishing because it's following the coattails of this right here. Cell in front of it. Wichita, storm's overtaken the city, so you don't have to worry about Wichita seeing any of those strong wind gusts. They've now dropped this down to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So just within a few minutes, we've gone from being warned for 80 to being warned for 60. So Lubbock, you are looking to be in much better shape now. We've lost a lot of intensity out of these storms in just the past few minutes. Despite the tornado warning that we've currently gotten the eastern Texas panhandle, we've lost a lot of energy. We went from considerable and destructive storms to now we have all garden variety severe thunderstorms, meaning that they're just marginally severe. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail, impacts nonetheless, but definitely nowhere near as intense as 2-inch hail, 80-mile-an-hour winds that we were seeing earlier. In Wichita, did you guys get any hail? You had a couple reports of 1-inchers. Got quarter-sized hail. We had some very intense wind gusts as well. Slayton and Plainview both saw very, very intense winds. Well, what I'm going to do, anybody ask any more questions, I'll get them answered. But I'm going to be hopping off here. We've kind of seen everything wind down. If this tornadic little cell tries to make its way into like maybe toward Altus or something, I might hop back on, but I doubt it will hang out that long. These embedded tornadoes usually do not last very long, usually. So ask a couple more questions. If you guys have any more, I'll get them answered. Beyond that, we're going to wrap this up here. .72-mile-an-hour wind gust outside of Mangum. Is that long ago? Oh, it was with the gust front. Nice. All right, everyone. Hope you have a good rest of your Thursday, I think it is. Have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll be talking more about the storms on the noon show tomorrow if you don't see me until then. So take care. Have a good rest.